Some excavators disappear the moment newer models arrive. These didn't. Decades later, they're still digging, still being restored, and still spoken about with respect by operators who ran them hard. Not because they're old, but because they earned their reputation. They were simple, they were overbuilt. They worked when downtime wasn't an option. No screens, no fragile electronics. Just steel hydraulics and engines designed to survive abuse. This is why these 10 classic excavators refuse to be forgotten. Machines that proved real reliability leaves a legacy no upgrade can replace. Number 1. Caterpillar 225. The Caterpillar 225, introduced in the early 1970s, stands as one of the most important excavators in construction history because it marked Caterpillar's full commitment to purpose-built hydraulic excavators. Before machines like the 225, much of the industry was still transitioning from cable-operated shovels or hybrid designs. The 225 proved that hydraulics were not just viable but superior for productivity, precision, and long-term durability. What made the Caterpillar 2025 unforgettable was its balance of brute strength and mechanical simplicity. Powered by a reliable Caterpillar diesel engine and paired with a robust hydraulic system, the 2025 delivered consistent digging force without relying on complex electronics. This mattered enormously in the 1970s and 1980s when job sites often lacked diagnostic tools and machines had to be repaired in the field. Mechanics appreciated that the pumps, hoses, swing motor, and valves were accessible and overbuilt rather than fragile. Structurally, the 2025 was designed to last. Its thick steel boom, reinforced stick, and heavy undercarriage allowed it to survive years of trenching, foundation digging, and quarry loading. Pins and bushings were oversized for the machine's class, meaning wear occurred slowly and predictably. Instead of catastrophic failures, owners faced routine rebuilds, something that made long-term ownership economically viable. Operators also played a role in the 2025's legendary status. For its time, the cab offered good visibility and intuitive controls. Hydraulic response was smooth and predictable, which reduced fatigue and increased cycle efficiency. Many operators who learned excavation on a 2025 remember it as a machine that did exactly what your hands told it to do, without lag or surprise movements. Even today, Caterpillar 225 excavators remain active on smaller job sites, farms, and in developing regions. Many have been rebuilt multiple times, proving how well the original design tolerates refurbishment. The reason the Caterpillar 225 refuses to be forgotten is simple. It made money for decades, demanded respect but not constant babysitting, and set the reliability benchmark that later Caterpillar excavators were judged against. Number 2. Caterpillar 320B. The Caterpillar 320B, launched in the 1990s, is widely regarded as one of the most successful medium-sized excavators ever built. Sitting in the highly competitive 20-ton class, the 320B struck a near-perfect balance between power, size, transportability, and reliability, qualities that made it a contractor favorite across the world. One of the biggest reasons the 320B refuses to be forgotten is how versatile it was. It could dig deep foundations, load trucks efficiently, trench for utilities, and even perform light demolition without feeling underpowered or unstable. Caterpillar tuned the hydraulic system for steady, controllable flow rather than aggressive spikes, giving operators confidence during precision work. That smooth hydraulic character reduced wear on components and improved fuel efficiency in real-world conditions. From an engineering standpoint, the 320B improved upon earlier models with better cooling systems, stronger boom structures, and simplified service access. Filters, grease points, and inspection areas were placed where mechanics could reach them quickly. Downtime was minimized, and routine maintenance could often be done without specialized tools. This practical design philosophy made the 320B extremely attractive to rental fleets and small contractors alike. Another major factor in the 320B's long life is parts availability. Because Caterpillar produced the 3020 series in large numbers and supported it globally, replacement parts remain widely available even decades later. Engines, hydraulic pumps, swing motors, and undercarriage components can be rebuilt or replaced without custom fabrication. This keeps ownership costs predictable and allows machines to stay productive far beyond their original service life. Operator comfort also played a role. Compared to older excavators, the 320B offered improved seating, better visibility, and more refined controls. Operators could work longer shifts with less fatigue, directly boosting productivity. That operator approval helped cement the 320B's reputation and ensured that contractors wanted to keep these machines rather than retire them. Ultimately, the Caterpillar 320B became a benchmark. Even modern excavators in the same class are still compared, quietly or openly, to the dependability and work ethic of this model. That enduring comparison is why the 320B remains unforgettable. Number 3. Komatsu PC200 series. The Komatsu PC200 series, spanning multiple generations from the late 1970s through the early 2000s, represents one of the clearest examples of successful evolutionary engineering in excavator history. Instead of radically redesigning the machine every few years, Komatsu refined the PC200 step by step, improving efficiency, durability, and operator control while preserving what already worked. Early PC200 models earned respect for their strong engines and reliable hydraulic systems, but it was later generations, especially the Dash 5 and Dash 6, that solidified the PC200's legendary status. Komatsu introduced advanced load-sensing hydraulics that reduced wasted energy, meaning more engine power went into digging rather than heat. Contractors noticed lower fuel consumption without sacrificing breakout force, a rare combination at the time. Structurally, the PC200 was built to survive harsh conditions. Its undercarriage components, swing frame, and boom assemblies were designed with longevity in mind. Sealed pins and bushings extended service intervals, and the machine handled heavy attachments with confidence. These traits made the PC200 popular not only in construction, but also in quarrying and mining support roles. Komatsu also paid close attention to operator-machine interaction. Hydraulic controls were smooth and predictable, and later cabs improved visibility and reduced noise levels. This mattered on long shifts, where operator fatigue could lead to mistakes or reduced output. A PC200 operator could maintain consistent cycle times throughout the day, directly affecting job profitability. Another reason the PC200 refuses to be forgotten is global support and interchangeability. Komatsu sold these machines worldwide, creating a massive installed base. Parts compatibility across generations allowed owners to upgrade or rebuild machines instead of replacing them entirely. This modular approach made long-term ownership both feasible and financially sensible. Today, PC200 excavators are still found working daily in many countries. They are not remembered because they were flashy, but because they were dependable, efficient, and thoughtfully improved over time. That kind of engineering legacy does not fade easily. Number 4. Hitachi EX200. The Hitachi EX200 is remembered as a machine that prioritized hydraulic precision and mechanical honesty over unnecessary complexity. Introduced during a period when electronics were beginning to creep into construction equipment, the EX200 maintained a focus on robust mechanical systems paired with exceptionally well-tuned hydraulics. What truly set the EX200 apart was control accuracy. Operators consistently praised how smoothly the machine responded to input. Small joystick movements resulted in precise bucket actions, making the EX200 ideal for trenching around utilities, finishing work, and controlled excavation near structures. This level of finesse reduced rework and improved job quality, an underrated but critical factor in real-world productivity. Mechanically, the EX200 was built with serviceability in mind. Pumps, valves, and filters were positioned to minimize maintenance time, and hose routing reduced abrasion and heat exposure. Hitachi's approach allowed these machines to rack up thousands of hours with minimal unscheduled downtime. When wear did occur, components were rebuildable rather than disposable. The EX200 also benefited from a strong structural design. The boom and stick assemblies used high-quality steel and conservative stress margins, allowing multiple rebuild cycles over the machine's life. Contractors found that investing in pin, bushing, and hydraulic rebuilds made financial sense, extending service life well beyond original expectations. Another reason the EX200 refuses to be forgotten is trust. Operators trusted it. Mechanics trusted it. Owners trusted that it would start in the morning and finish the job without drama. That trust created loyalty, and loyalty keeps machines alive long after newer models appear. Even today, Hitachi EX200 excavators continue working in construction yards, farms, and infrastructure projects around the world. Their continued presence is proof that precision, simplicity, and durability never go out of style. Number 5. Liebherr R912. The Liebherr R912 stands as a textbook example of German engineering philosophy applied to heavy machinery. Build it strong, make it precise, and design it so it can be rebuilt indefinitely. Introduced in the late 1980s, the R912 quickly earned a reputation for structural integrity and mechanical longevity, especially in demanding environments such as quarries, aggregate yards, and heavy civil construction. What truly set the R912 apart was its modular design approach. Liebherr engineered the machine so that major components boom, stick, swing frame, undercarriage, hydraulic pumps could be serviced, rebuilt, or replaced independently. This meant owners were not forced into scrapping the entire machine due to wear in one area. Pins and bushings were intentionally oversized, allowing multiple rebushing cycles without compromising structural strength. Hydraulically, the R912 favored consistency over aggression. It delivered smooth, controlled power rather than sudden spikes, which reduced stress on hoses, seals, and cylinders. This made the excavator particularly well suited for continuous duty applications where machines operate for long shifts under steady load. Liebherr also invested heavily in filtration and cooling, ensuring that dust-heavy environments did not shorten component life. Another critical factor in the R912's longevity was steel quality. Liebherr used high-grade alloys and conservative stress tolerances in its boom and chassis design. As a result, fatigue cracking, a common death sentence for many excavators, was far less frequent. Even after decades of work, many R912 machines are structurally sound enough to justify full mechanical rebuilds. Operators appreciated the machine's balance and predictability, while owners valued its life cycle economics. In Europe especially, R912 units became machines that passed from large contractors to smaller firms, then to private operators, each time rebuilt and returned to work. The Liebherr R912 refuses to be forgotten because it was never designed to be disposable. It was designed to outlast economic cycles, regulations, and even its original owners. Number 6. Volvo EC210. The Volvo EC210 earned its place among classic excavators by combining two qualities that rarely received equal attention in earlier machines: operator-centric design and serious structural durability. Introduced in the late 1990s and refined through the early 2000s, the EC210 represented Volvo's belief that productivity begins with the operator, not just engine power. From the cab outward, the EC210 was designed to reduce fatigue. Improved seating, low noise levels, excellent visibility, and logically arranged controls allowed operators to work longer and with greater precision. This translated directly into productivity gains and fewer operational errors. Contractors noticed that skilled operators actively preferred Volvo machines, and that preference extended the EC210's working life in fleets. Structurally, Volvo did not compromise. The EC210 featured robotically welded frames, reinforced boom sections, and a well-balanced counterweight design. These choices improved durability under repetitive loading and reduced frame twist during heavy digging or lifting. The result was a machine that maintained alignment and stability even after thousands of hours. Hydraulically, the EC210 delivered smooth, progressive power rather than abrupt movement. This made it ideal for attachment work such as hydraulic breakers, thumbs, and grapples. Many EC210 units spent years in demolition and recycling operations, environments that quickly destroy weaker excavators. Another reason the EC210 refuses to be forgotten is fuel efficiency for its era. Volvo invested early in optimizing engine hydraulic matching, reducing unnecessary fuel burn during partial loads and idle operation. That mattered to contractors facing rising fuel costs and tighter margins. Today, many EC210 excavators remain in service or are actively refurbished. Their continued presence is not nostalgia. It's proof that a machine built around human efficiency and mechanical integrity remains relevant long after newer models appear. Number 7. Case CX21T. The Case CX21 never chased headlines. Yet it earned its reputation the hard way. by working reliably across countless job sites. Introduced in the early 2000s, the CX210 embodied Case's practical approach: build a machine that can do many jobs well without overcomplicating the design. At the heart of the CX210's success was its balanced hydraulic system. Case engineered it to deliver strong breakout force while maintaining fine control. This allowed the machine to perform equally well in trenching, mass excavation, and attachment-heavy work. Unlike some competitors, the CX210 did not rely heavily on early-generation electronics, which kept diagnostics simple and failures predictable. The machine's frame and boom geometry were designed to handle repeated stress without premature fatigue. Owners found that the CX210 tolerated misuse better than many peers, an important trait in rental fleets where machines see varied operators. Undercarriage components were robust and rebuild-friendly, extending service life. Another reason the CX210 refuses to be forgotten is adaptability. It accepted a wide range of attachments with minimal modification, making it a favorite among contractors who needed flexibility rather than specialization. This versatility ensured that even as job requirements changed, the CX210 remained useful. The CX210 became a machine people trusted. It might not have been flashy, but it showed up, worked hard, and asked for little in return. That quiet dependability is often what separates forgotten machines from remembered ones. Number 8. John Deere 290. The John Deere 2090 excavator represents a period when John Deere transitioned from being seen primarily as an agricultural powerhouse into a serious contender in heavy construction equipment. What made the 2090 unforgettable was not flashy technology or radical innovation, but a focus on torque, balance, and mechanical honesty, qualities that contractors depend on when jobs get rough and margins get tight. At its core, the Deere 2090 was built around a high-torque diesel engine designed to deliver consistent pulling and lifting power rather than peak horsepower numbers. This characteristic made it exceptionally capable in pipeline construction, utility installation, and heavy lifting tasks where steady force matters more than speed. Operators often noted that the 2090 never felt strained, even when lifting near its rated capacity. Stability was another defining trait. The 290 featured a wide undercarriage, substantial counterweight, and conservative center of gravity design. These elements combined to give operators confidence when handling large pipes, precast concrete, or steel structures. Unlike lighter balanced machines that rely on electronics to compensate, the 290 achieved stability through pure mechanical geometry, a major reason it aged so well. From a maintenance perspective, the John Deere 290 reflected Deere's agricultural heritage. Components were easy to access, logically laid out, and built to tolerate abuse. Hydraulic systems were straightforward, diagnostics were simple, and routine service did not require proprietary tools. This allowed smaller contractors and rural operators to keep machines running without dealer dependency. Another reason the 29 refuses to be forgotten is dealer and parts support. Deere's extensive global network ensured that parts availability remained strong long after production ended. Engines, pumps, swing motors, and undercarriage components could be rebuilt rather than replaced, extending service life significantly. Even today, Deere 290 machines are found working in infrastructure projects, farms, and secondary construction roles. They are trusted not because they are modern, but because they are predictable, powerful, and structurally confident, qualities that never go out of style. Number 9. Kobelco SK200. The Kobelco SK200 earned its legendary reputation not through brute force, but through hydraulic intelligence and fuel efficiency, long before these concepts became industry buzzwords. Introduced as part of Kobelco's push into the competitive 20-ton class, the SK200 demonstrated that an excavator could be both economical and highly productive. Kobelco engineers focused heavily on reducing wasted hydraulic energy. The SK200's hydraulic system was designed to match pump output closely with actual demand, minimizing unnecessary flow and heat generation. This resulted in lower fuel consumption during partial loads, idle periods, and precision work. Over thousands of operating hours, these savings became substantial. Operators consistently praised the SK200 for its smooth, linear control response. Bucket and boom movements were predictable and easy to modulate, making the machine ideal for finishing work, trenching, and utility installation. This precision reduced overdigging and rework, improving both efficiency and job quality. Another often overlooked advantage was reduced vibration and noise. Kobelco invested in cab isolation and system tuning, improving operator comfort and reducing fatigue. Less vibration also meant less stress on structural components, hoses, and fittings, contributing directly to long-term durability. Structurally, the SK200 was built conservatively. Boom and stick assemblies used high-quality steel and generous stress margins, allowing multiple rebuild cycles. Owners found that replacing pins, bushings, and hydraulic seals could restore performance to near new levels, making refurbishment financially sensible. The SK200 refuses to be forgotten because it proved something important. Efficiency is durability. Machines that burn less fuel, generate less heat, and stress components less tend to live longer. In many regions, SK200 units remain in daily service, quietly outperforming newer machines in cost-per-hour metrics. Number 10. Doosan DH220. The Doosan DH220 became a classic not by being the best at any single metric, but by being good enough at everything and affordable to own. Emerging in the 1990s and evolving into later DX series machines, the DH220 was engineered for global markets, where reliability, simplicity, and cost control mattered more than cutting-edge features. Doosan focused on strong base architecture, a rigid frame, dependable diesel engines, and straightforward hydraulic systems. The DH220's digging force and lift capacity were competitive, while its undercarriage was built to handle rough terrain and inconsistent maintenance schedules, realities in many parts of the world. One of the DH220's greatest strengths was its rebuild economy. Hydraulic pumps, swing motors, and final drives were designed for overhaul rather than disposal. Combined with widely available aftermarket parts, this made full machine rebuilds financially attractive. Contractors learned that a refurbished DH220 could deliver years of productive work at a fraction of the cost of a new excavator. The machine's global footprint also contributed to its longevity. Sold across Asia, Africa, Europe, and South America, the DH220 developed a massive parts ecosystem. Even today, components are easy to source, and local workshops are familiar with the machine's systems. Operators valued the DH220's forgiving nature. It tolerated inconsistent fuel quality, high ambient temperatures, and long duty cycles without constant failures. While it lacked luxury features, it compensated with mechanical resilience. The Doosan DH220 refuses to be forgotten because it represents a fundamental truth of heavy equipment. Machines that are affordable to fix tend to survive. Its legacy is written not in brochures, but in thousands of job sites where it continues to work long after newer machines have been parked. So that's it for today. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.